Hello and welcome to Fashion Report Friday, the weekly video series trying to get you the most MGP humanly possible within the Mandeville Gold Saucer every week on a Friday when judging begins for the Fashion Report minigame. This is week 260, and the theme this time around, as you will see as we get closer to the Masked Rose, is the Hot Head, Cold Feet, All Mage. Very interesting title, that one. The individual clues then are keeping company for your head, fashionably late Allegan for your chest, ride the tides for your gloves, and less is more for your leg slot. In this video, we'll have a 100 score, an 80 with dies, and the easiest 80 possible that we could come up with. Let's get straight to that 100. Alrighty, as you can see, for our 100 score, we went for a very interesting ensemble this week. In particular, for our helm, we went for our company hat. This is something that can be crafted with fairly basic leatherworking recipe. You can also get this on the market board for cheaps, supposedly, depending on your server. Alternatives to the company hat then do actually include the, I don't know, like the serpents or the maelstrom, whichever like company you're in. You can get the soldier's cap version of that for 680 seals from your grand company, or you can get the officer's cap, which is 4,800 seals from your grand company. So you don't necessarily have to go and craft or purchase this company hat. Those are good alternatives as well if you've gone through your grand company ranks. For the chest piece then, I went for the late Allegan Armor of Aiming. This is basically chosen because of the glove sort of put me this direction, because for the gloves specifically, I just had to go to do a dungeon to get those. We'll get to that in just a second, but I went for the aiming ones. Any of the late Allegan armor will work. All of this stuff, of course, is through PvP and will cost you 4,000 wolf marks to purchase a chest piece from a Wolf's Den peer. It's equipable by everybody in the game level 1 and above. However, there are obvious restrictions to, you know, job, basically. As you can see, archer, bard, machinist, dancer for this one. So obviously we're going to be buying the one to fill this slot after we do our hand slot. And specifically talking about the hands for Ride the Tides, it's any of the Shisui gloves. So obviously the Shisui stuff drops on the chest just before the second boss, the Ruby Princess, as well as on her as well. So I just kind of waited until a pair of gloves dropped and then decided what chest piece to purchase with that. Not everybody has the luxury of having every single job, you know, max level and, you know, above level 60, but I do, and that's how I made my decision. But for you, I would say you're probably going to have to just get your gloves first, like I did, and then decide on your Wolfmark purchase. If you're going for the 100, that is. But we have other solutions. Obviously, there are no other alternatives, so any of the Shisui gloves will work. That all drop on that second boss or the chest just before it. And finally, for our left side and for the 100, we have the hard leather subligar. This is equipable by all Disciple of War classes and jobs in the game, level 12 and above. You can get this from low-level city-state armor vendors such as Gwalter in Uldar, obviously in the Market District. Alternatives to this include the Flame Serpent Subligar. That will be 1,620 flame seals specifically. The Star Spangled Subligar, which is part of a side quest called Thanks for Your Support. You can also get this back from a Calamity Salvager. And I believe the Kawil Beach Briefs and Kawil Beach Maro will both work as well, although I haven't confirmed those this week. But the hard leather subligar, obviously putting you towards a Disciple of War choice, and of course, depending on what gloves you have, is, you know, which chest you go for. So it kind of nails it down a little bit and narrows it down. So that's the 100 if you want to play around with that. If you're not really bothered about the 100 and you just want your maximum MGP, let's move on to the 80 with dies. Okay, when it comes to getting an 80 score with just dies, obviously have something equipped in every slot. That includes your accessories on the right side as well as the other pieces of gear on your left side, and then follow these dies. So we've got current purple on any weapon in the game. We've got pure white, unfortunately, on any helm in the game. Then we've got a few NPC vendor purchase dice, such as sky blue on our chest, and then blood red on our hands and legs. And we've also got charcoal grey, which is also vendor purchased on any feet in the game. If you follow those dies and have something equipped in every slot, you'll get an 80 score guaranteed. The worst thing about that is obviously the pure white, which is the only thing that can't be purchased from a vendor. So not too bad. Bearing that in mind, we can mix and match with some of the 100 stuff to actually get a really good easy 80 this week. So let's move straight onto that. For the easy 80 score, then, it should come as no surprise that we're going to mix and match a few items, specifically the hard leather subligar. This just, locks things down to a level 12 Disciple of War job or class, which isn't that difficult to get to be perfectly honest. And we've dyed that blood red dye, as well as any hands in the game blood red dye. Blood red dye then is something you can get from any low level city state, and you get it from dye merchants such as the one in Uldar's Sapphire Avenue Exchange. If you teleport over there's a character called Nanabe, and Nanabe sells the sky blue, the blood red, and the charcoal grey from the 80 with dyes anyway, but you want to get those blood red dyes. They only cost 40 gil a pot, so it's an incredibly easy option. Then come back, equip yourself with the dyed hard leather subligar and any dyed hands in the game with that blood red, and you'll get an 80 score guaranteed. As long as you have something in every single slot, you're set. This is probably the best option for alts, and I know a lot of people are trying to save up for the airship mount, which is 4 million MGP, so this is a great opportunity to do this on all of your characters if you have lots of them, and you'll get it within no time. Anyway, hopefully this was helpful. A link in the description will take you to a Reddit thread where this was theorized this week, and where it's theorized most weeks, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching my videos this week. I appreciate you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.